You jump really fast, you might survive the blast.
Wait!
I'm of the opinion that revenge is one of the best catalysts for a great action movie. John Wick, Kill Bill, or hell, even The Punisher are all stories of revenge that give a clear goal for both the protagonist and the audience. We want to see the bad guys get their comeuppance, and the hero stand tall over them. Yet we've seen so many variations over the years that it can be tough to come up with a unique spin. But I'd say casting Academy Award winner Rami Malek as your action lead is a pretty good start in the unique department. The Amateur follows CIA decoder Heller, played by Malek, who loses his wife Sarah, played by Rachel Brosnahan, in a terrorist attack in London. He wants nothing but revenge and for his wife's killers to face justice. Unfortunately for him, the higher-ups in the CIA do not agree with him, and he has to circumvent them in order to go on his revenge mission. There's also an intriguing element of corruption, which may or may not have contributed to Sarah's death. Was it random, or was Heller getting too close to something that he shouldn't have? Heller uses his skills and translates them to the real world, proving he's more capable than they ever realized. Rami Malek is so easy to root for as Heller, and you can really feel his grief through the screen. The man just lives and breathes torment. They do a good job of not overwriting the character and making him all-knowing. He's just very prepared, and thinks of situations from many angles. It never went too ludicrous. Same with the moments that he gets in on the action. It all feels very believable, with him even being bested by a woman at one point. And it's also to see where he's coming from with his grief, as Rachel Brosnahan's Sarah is utterly captivating. She has little screen time, yet she makes the most of it. They have a good chemistry, and it's easy to see why Heller would be so lost without her. Lawrence Fishburne in any kind of mentor role just feels right, and his Henderson is just enough of a threat to make the cat and mouse pursuit fun. His respect for Heller makes him more interesting, as he feels like more than just a mindless assassin on his tail. John Bernthal shows up in a role that feels somewhat similar to Henderson, ironically named the Bear. But unlike Henderson, he's not on the hunt for Heller, meaning he's not very involved in the story. But his brief role brings a little bit of hope, as it shows that not everyone in the company is without morals. And it's getting to the point where if Holt McCallany shows up, then I can assume he's a bad guy. One thing that will always bother me about this, or any film, is treating characters as fodder to move the story forward. It inadvertently makes Heller a bit of a bad guy, as his involvement is getting innocent people killed. I'd love to see them explore this more in a sequel, if we're lucky enough to get one. The action in The Amateur is handled really well, never betraying the idea that Heller isn't some typical action star. He uses his brains and resourcefulness to get out of a situation, not brawn or physical superiority. Even the moments where it seems like they may be leaning in that direction, they instead bring back Heller's 3 steps ahead approach. It makes for a very satisfying watch, even if one of the coolest deaths was spoiled in the trailers. They're able to provide just enough mystery, but this still runs a track laid down by action films of the past. I had an absolute blast with The Amateur, and I got a similar feeling as I did watching The Bourne Identity for the first time. The action genre has long needed someone who breaks from the standard mold, and Malek does just that. The man behind the computer is often a thankless role, so it's satisfying to see someone in that position finally get more of a spotlight. The story is compelling and satisfying, and leaves room for more. I know I'm absolutely on board with this becoming a franchise. The Professional, anyone? Which is why I'm giving The Amateur an 8 out of 10.
Did you ever account for the things I was good at? Base charge on a timer.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.